Hey, this is Chris from GuitArmy, and in today's guitar lesson, I'm going to be showing you two different ways to play the guitar riff for Every Breath You Can Take by The Police. All right, now let's take a look at how to play this. This is the way Andy plays it on the album, as far as I know. And it's in the key of A. The first chord is A major. Then that's your 1 chord. And then it goes to F sharp minor. That's your 6th chord. Then it goes to your 4 chord D. Then the 5 chord E. All right, so the very first thing we're doing is we are... it's kind of a really cool sound. It's a ninth. You're playing the A, which is the root, E, which is the 5th, and then a B up here, which is a ninth above this root here. So you get this kind of sound. Very cool sound. And the way I play it is I move my finger over here to get the C sharp, the 3rd of the A chord. Because there's just no way I'm going to physically, I can't hold it like that and be able to play it cleanly. It's just too hard. I'm sure I'm muting out strings I shouldn't be. So I just go ahead and move my finger over. And if you're playing it how they play it on the album and it's muted, you don't have to worry about holding this note down. It doesn't need to ring because it's muted. So like that's how I play the A chord. And if you're wondering, I'm not sure if you can see exactly how I'm picking it. So I will go through on the guitar tab and put exactly whether I'm picking it up or down for each note. I think that'll help. All right, and then we're going to get down here to the F sharp chord. And this is quite a stretch. In case you're wondering, the reason I'm showing you the other version with the capo is because if you're more of a beginner and your hands aren't as stretched out, or if you have larger hands. My hands are not very big. I have small hands, but I've been playing guitar a long time. So they're kind of stretched out. All right, so this is the way I originally used to play it, where I would move my finger over to get that A here, that flat 3rd. But then I posted this on social media as a short, and a lot of people said, just leave your finger barred across that. And as long as you have it barred hard enough that you can hear this flat 3rd there, then it works really well. So in my opinion, you would probably be better off just leaving your finger barred. But I understand that's quite a stretch down here to do, but that is how he plays it. All right, in the next chord, he goes up here to play a D chord, which is the 4 chord in the key of A, and he starts off with this kind of sound again. He loves that sound, and he begins every chord like that. So I play the D chord like this, and I go. You could probably do something like this. But to me, this is an awkward stretch right here. So since I'm used to playing a major chord like this, with this finger, I just think it makes more sense to stretch my pinky up. And then he goes up here and does the exact same riff, exact same thing, picking pattern up here for E. And then after that, he goes back to, it does the very first thing for A. He does that twice, and that's the intro. So that's how Andy plays it. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the easier capoed version. So this is how you can play Every Breath You Take using a capo. You just put a capo across the 2nd fret. I did forget to mention in the first video where I show you how Andy actually plays it, that I am tuned down a half step. They tune down a half step, so it's not in standard tuning. Everything's down a half step. You can certainly just play it in standard tuning, but the actual recording is down a half a step. So instead of playing this thing here, in case you're like, well, that's just too hard. I can't do that. Well, then this feels more like some type of G chord here. You can just follow along with the tab. So this is sort of like a G chord I guess it is like a G9 or something, because you have the root, fifth, and ninth. All right, so the first two measures are this. Now, personally, I think if I wanted to play this riff and I wanted everything to ring, then I would do it this way with the capo. Plus, it's actually kind of quick if you play along with the recording. But this way, you can play it nice and relaxed. It sounds beautiful. Whether you play it fast or slow, this is a great sounding riff. All right, so the first two bars go. Alrighty, so the next measure, so after we do that, it's going to go, so instead of the F sharp minor 9, it's going to be like an E minor 9, which is a great sound, and it's much easier to play like this. Because, you know, you don't have to have this finger barring across there. You have the capo barring across the second fret for you. So that's a lot of fun. My advice is to do the next section that you use your third finger here so you can go. Because you're going to have to get I will put your pinky on the third fret above the capo here because you're going to have to get the first finger as well. I think that's the easiest way to play that one. The next one is, it's an E chord, but it's, you know, like it feels like a D chord. It goes. Because it took me like 10 or 20 takes to get this down, I started to realize that, hey, I can leave from going from this chord. I can leave this finger down, my first finger down, to go back to the main, the first two bars, which is the last two bars of the riff. So that's a little trick there when you're going, which is measure number 6. That finger down, then all you have to do is move this finger, your middle finger, over, and then you're set and ready to go for the last two. So that's my little trick that I learned just because I had to do this like 20 times to get it without messing it up. I shouldn't tell you this, but if you listen to the first two measures, I'm not even convinced I'm playing that right. I've listened to it over and over. Sometimes I hear it as correct, sometimes I don't. It seems like I may have mixed up the fingering, but the ultimate determination was that I did play it right. But that is how you play the easy version with the finger picking. Thanks for taking the time to check out this guitar lesson. If you like this lesson and you want to see more, consider subscribing to my channel. I will see you in the next lesson.